I was not completely involved as far as like how it came to be, but I was here sort of the day that it became a thing. I was out here until about 5 a.m. on a day where police just didn't happen to break us up with tear gas and pepper spray, and I started hearing about plans to like maybe bring some tables and tents and food down so that people could turn this into a longer term thing. And that was really exciting, and over the next couple of days I saw that develop while the cops were still at the barricade. And yeah, I think we were really galvanized by the atrocities we were witnessing almost every night at the hands of the police. Like, I honestly don't think that CHAZ CHOP would exist if they had never tear gassed us. I think Jenny Durkin made a big mistake right there.
Who is Jenny Durkin?
Jenny Durkin is the mayor of Seattle. For now. For right now.
Well, this particular moment, you see that we all came together because of Black lives. We all came together because we was just getting tired of seeing black men being killed by the hands of the police. So what you see is black men and women and white women and all types of different diversions of races out here coming together to stand for one cause, which is Black lives. And again, it's so unprecedented. This has never happened before. And again, we're learning as we go, but it's very hard because we have different people that are trying to come out here and push their own agenda. I'm thinking now as an organizer how to get this movement back together, and I'm just thinking that we are going to have to form the council for We Are the People, because the people started this movement. So we must not also forget that the people started this movement. So again, I'm going to have to rally the people up so that we can get a council going and get some leadership going within this organization, get press briefings happening every day so that our media outlets can be informed of what's going on and what's taking place around CHOP. Again, so this is a continual protest. This is going on 24/7. It's not just a place where people come to, get drunk or have festivities. We try to correct that and let people know that this is a protest, again, that did originate because of George Floyd. But again, we're here to talk about all different things that affect the people of color communities.
Such as
defund SPD. We are talking about police accountability. I'm not sure if you know, but SPOG just pulled out their union yesterday. So that is also a major accomplishment on behalf of the people. Again, I believe we also want half of the budget for the SPD to go into education. And so those are some of our demands and things that we are wanting to take place.
Everything here is for free. Everybody just got to show love. We can show each other. We can give shit out for free. You don't got to pay for shit. Just do shit out of the kindness of being fucking human. It's possible. This whole fucking 3 weeks we've shown it, so I don't want to hear no motherfucking excuses.
You cannot stop our God! Our God is more powerful than you will ever be!
So I'm not completely against rioting. I'm not against rioting. I'm for rioting. I'm for looting, but not for not homes, not small businesses. I think things that have an impact, large corporations, government buildings. And why? It's for the same reason that we're here. Because if you disrupt the government's money, then they want to make a difference, so you'll stop. You mess with their money, they'll make a change, because that's what they care about at the end of the day. Even if they don't care about us, we'll make them.
Interracial marriage was legalized the year I was born in 1967. So that's not that long ago, 53 years ago. Progress, for sure. To think 60 years ago we couldn't be together is pretty terrifying.
Yeah. I have nothing on that. She pretty much summed it up.
It's emotional to feel like we have to fight to even be a voice out here, and that people can't just be seen as the same or treated the same. I think that people are angry, so people are trying to see us as violent or doing a lot or doing too much. But when emotions are building up and sitting inside, there is a time for anger. We are going for change, not to be violent and not to hurt anybody. So this moment in America is beautiful to me.
I get once the cops left and it became a bit more safe, a lot of different kinds of people started coming in. Most of them I'm very appreciative of, right? Like they weren't combat or medic ready, but they really wanted to help, and now they had like a way to come into the space and help. And then also, I think there were a lot of people who are used to things like the Capitol Hill Block Party and Capitol Hill Pride events who we're just like, hey, Capitol Hill, there's no cops, everything's open, there's people hanging out, it's a good time, let's pass out LSD on the playfield in the middle of a protest, and also most of us are white.
You're not here for her, you're not here for him, you're here for a fucking purpose. You're here to congregate and bullshit, so fuck off, fuck you, and you know what? God save you. I'm here for your salvation. Shut the fuck up. My salvation. I'm here for his salvation. I'm here for her salvation.
We know people or we're around people that are against the Black Lives Matter movement or against those views, are stereotypically far right, things like that. We should not shun them. We shouldn't excommunicate them. We need them. Those are the people we're trying to speak to in the first place. If we push them out, then what's the point of us protesting? Because they're not going to hear it. They're not there anymore. We pushed them away. So we should include them into our protests. Those are the neighborhoods we should be walking through, not the ones that we feel the safest in. I mean, I understandably, we want to make sure we're safe when we're doing our thing. But we need to speak to the crowd that doesn't want to hear it. I mean, those are the hearts and the minds that need to change. The ones that are in the crowd, they're already with us. They don't need to hear it over and over again.
I'm trying to build bridges of peace and love, and I want this movement to be in peace with we the people out here, and that's we the people need to come together. I didn't join on board with them until 3 or 4 days into this adventure or journey, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I spoke on the steps at the West Precinct when I marched with them the day that I decided I was on board with this movement, because they're nonviolent and they're not doing anything wrong. This is freedom of assembly. This is freedom of speech. This is a social experiment on how the people can police themselves and take care of their community. And you look in there as a prepper, it's exactly how I would set it up. Exactly. No different. This is no different than what I did at Governor Newsom's house. The only difference is I didn't have people camping there with me, which I wanted to, but they just didn't jump on board with me for whatever reason.
Why do you think they didn't? Are they chicken?
I think there's a lot of spineless people in America.
Tell me about what makes a spineless person. What could a person be made of in America right now?
I think since the 60s, the protest movement is they're keyboard commandos. It's more online, and that's not. You have to be boots on the ground.
Протест, протест.
I'm protecting this area.
Хочу бир, выпить бир. Я хочу пить бир. Да, я в таком тюрьме сидел.
Being a black woman in America, it's a constant fight. It's like I'm in a ring against both sides. Everybody's trying to get me. It's hard to level up in the system, just being a woman to begin with, but also being a black woman, you're seen as a threat, or your intelligence will undermine others, but really we have the same mindset as others, and sometimes we are smarter, but it's not to put anybody down, but being a black woman in America is a challenge.
People undermine, think you're dumb or you're stupid or you don't have anything important to say, and I think it's really important to kind of get rid of that stereotype.
A third-class citizen.
Tell me more about that.
No access to proper education, feeling unseen, feeling unwanted. If anyone that isn't black, if you've seen how people treat black people in America and you see how this government treats black people in America, you know that you would not want to be black in this country, so that's how I feel.
A lot of youth we just go on with life like there's nothing happening, and we make it seem as if life is just the same and it's normal, but we need to realize that there are injustices.
For black youth, I say, it's gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna tell y'all motherfuckers to educate yourself. Stop putting yourself in the system. You can grow your own food, you can build your own houses. We do not have to be part of this machinery that gives them and pays them for free. Fuck that.
No, you will not move me. I shall not be moved. I will be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that spreadeth for her roots in season. The tree shall not wither. I am like a tree planted by the rivers of waters. I shall not be moved.
I'm all for doing the right thing. I think the only issue is that we've gotten so wrapped up in do's and don'ts that we've forgotten Jesus. And I'm not protesting about not going to church. I go to church. I think it's healthy. But the only question is, why are you going to church? Are you going because your parents told you to, or because you know Jesus? And if you don't know Jesus, he's worth it. He loves you so much, and he died for you. All lives matter. He died for every single one of us. There's someone out here who is a Jesus freak myself, and I'm thrilled to be one. I know where he's coming from, and I respect what he's doing. There are better ways to do it. And the only reason I'm out here not saying anything unless asked is because Jesus dealt with me extremely, very strongly when I started doing this about 7 years ago, to don't say a word unless you're asked, because people need to know Jesus loves them and that he died for them. And if you're getting in their face, it's the wrong way to do it.
All right, say something else. Say something else. Hey, right there. Keep talking. Keep talking. I got a good book for you. Hey, why don't you come down here? What? We can't have that in here.
You know, there's either pain or suffering in life, you know? Either you're going to suffer or you're going to go through the pain to eliminate the suffer. And it's how it is when you work out, and it's how it is when you try to learn language, and it's how it is in any part of your life and you want to intellectually, spiritually, or physically grow. And what's happening here is a right in front of your face growing pains. And it's led by love, most importantly and above all. And it's done peacefully, you know, non-violently. And there's been people who've done this in the past who've created change through that way, and why can't it be repeated again? So what brought me here was love. I love dodgeball. I know that might be the thing that you're going to hear, but it's a sport that I truly feel empowers many different people of all walks of life, all different sizes, genders, you know. It's a game that allows people to have teamwork, communication, and I can give you various reasons why. I have a philosophy that I believe it's because it's multiple balls on the court, so it gives empowerment and value. That's what you want in the day. You want to feel like you made an impact on the game. And it's hard to make an impact when there's only one ball to play with. For instance, whatever the sport, which are all great sports. Sports is a unifier, hands down. And I can go on tangents on that, but I just want to finish off with dodgeball. When you have a ball in your hand, and someone else has a ball in their hand, and then someone else has a ball in your hand, there's communication out to get that really good player out. Let's throw it together and get that person out. There's beauty in how just a simple pump fake can throw someone's throw off to allow to catch a chain reaction, you know? That's impact, and that's how you get, and that's why men and women play together in the game. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. Some of the people out here are helping out in various different ways, through counseling, through cleaning, through helping out with postal security for the safety of others, alert. And now if you've been here now, if you walked around, you'll realize that there's people creating food for you to eat everywhere, right? There are people sacrificing their time to create servitude, which is what we all do at the end of the day. If you want to find true happiness, you serve, you know? You find what you love to serve others to bring joy and enthusiasm. So I made a decision to come back here and spread dodgeball every night at 8:30 a.m. And that's what I've been doing, and it's been my way of giving back, you know? I think it's a great way to relieve the tensions that come with this territory of helping and changing and transformation. So that's why I'm here.
Are you going to play dodgeball today?
Absolutely.
8:30?
8:30.
PM?
AM? PM.
PM? Over...
we call it the tennis courts. We're changing that now to the dodgeball courts.
It's important to stand with us because there are going to be things that Black people can't do, and the situation is going to turn out differently if someone like white or somebody else does it, because there's so much fear that comes from or portrayed on us, like we're all scary and this, that, and the other. So I think someone who's not black, just stand with us, fight for us when we can't, like, do it and be there to help.
The communities can treat us the same, first off. Like with businesses and corporations, they can keep us on the same level. Don't let somebody not get a job because of their color. I think with other white people, just to help, like we are being treated as if we're nothing. So to make Black Lives Matter is to treat us the same and give us the same opportunities, give us a chance to live, to thrive.
I think our role here is mostly to be bodies and money. Our police force is militarized and it is extremely racist, and they are going to be targeting people of color, especially black people. I am a white person. They don't want to hurt me as much, so I will put myself in the way. And then they came out with tear gas, so that changed a little bit to I will put myself in the way with a traffic cone and a water bottle.
You gotta get off the internet, come practice what you preach. I've been practicing what I preach for the past 2 weeks. I'm here every day. I'm not going nowhere. This is what I'm preaching. This is what I'm preaching. This is what I'm preaching. I ain't preaching nothing else. I don't got no personal agendas. I ain't got no hidden agendas.
Протест, окей, протест. Я хочу бир, выпить бир, я хочу пить бир. Да, я в таком тюрьме сидел, полиция меня докопала. Но мне нужно бир, $1. $1, да, посмотри. Да.
Okay?
А мне наплевать, нет, на все, да.
Is this okay? No? All right.
Снимай все, я хочу $1, чтобы бир я хапнул.
Sorry, I don't understand.
А куда? До полиции подойти.
I'm not police. I'm not police.
А мне надо $1, чтобы я бир, чтобы я новый энтри, чтобы я был хоть релакс.